Hi everyone, it's Stephen from Valued Accountancy and welcome to another live session today. I am absolutely delighted to be joined by Donna. Donna and I have known each other for a lot of years, I think. Well, I was trying to rack my brain before. How many years have we known each other? Welcome, Donna.
Well, it's got to be, I'm going to say nearer to 20 years, because that's how long I was working with Downside Mind. So yeah, it's got to be 20 years.
It's got to be a long time, yeah. It's got to be a long time. And you just mentioned there that you said you were part of Downside Mind. Yeah. You've done a lot more since then as well. Yeah, so would you like to introduce yourself? Just tell the listeners, tell the audience who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so as Stephen says, I'm Donna Liddle. I am a transformational coach. So I used to have, alongside working at Downside Mind for 10 years, I had an in-person coaching business, which at the end of 2019, I took online, which totally revolutionized business for me. It was being able to just sit in front of a computer like this and talk to people all over the world. So I tend now to work predominantly with coaches, counselors and therapists who are also transitioning into that online space, so that they can stand out as the expert, create an unstoppable mindset and an unshakable confidence so that they can grow, thrive and succeed on their terms. So that's pretty much what I do.
Wow, that sounds really impressive. Where do I sign up? What do I do? Yeah. But I do genuinely think you've got so much experience, given all of the knowledge, all of the skill set that you've gained over the last 20 years that I've known you, if that's the case. God,
scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very scary now. I feel very, very old, but then you kind of think, right, well, I suppose my oldest daughter's 7 now, so that didn't. Yeah, I blinked and that happened. Yeah, it's always great to hear from clients and from friends as well, just what's happened with their businesses, and that's the whole purpose of Valued Live, in their own words, just to hear some real, true inspiration of what's actually worked for you as a business owner, what you would do differently, what you change in the industry, and various things as well. So it's absolutely brilliant that you've joined us today. What's also brilliant is that we've got people watching this on live stream, so please do say hi. Let us know whether you're snowed in as well. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love my commute. In the past, about a year ago, I would have turned around and went, no, it's a snow day, schools are off, huge problems, all of that sort of stuff. Looked outside and thought, we're never going to get to work. Now, I've 90 seconds on the stairs. No, but I'd love to hear what everyone else is there as well. All right, I think we might have just gone off there, Donna. Let's keep going just in case. Yeah. So please do say hi. Please do let us know what the weather's like at your place. Always great to hear from yourself. All right. So let's start off with a question, if that's all right. Yeah. What's your biggest frustration in terms of the industry, and how did you overcome that?
So one of the biggest frustrations, and I would say it was my frustration as well as the frustration I kind of deal with clients, is that in-person business is very, very different to the online space. So a few things that kind of come up is, certainly in counseling and therapy, you're either used to working for an organization or you have a profile in a directory and people seek you out and want to come and work with you because you put this lovely little bio on saying that you work with everything and anything and you can help everybody with whatever their problems are. And then you come into the online space and it is just totally different. It's all about having your marketing right. It's all about getting your messaging out there. There's so much conflicting information about the right way to do things that people get so overwhelmed and confused about what they're supposed to be doing. It's all about, rather than kind of working with everybody, it's niching down and only working, with one particular area. Because obviously in marketing, especially in the online world, there's a whole thing around sort of the way that you message. You've got, like, if you're speaking to everybody, you're really speaking to nobody. Nobody's connecting with that because the message is too vague. So from people who have spent years to train to be really good in the helping industry to suddenly have to be really good at copywriting and writing social media posts and building an audience, they're spending more of their time having to grow their audience than they are actually helping people. So that can be really frustrating. It's damaging to their mental well-being because they start to doubt their ability. So while they have all of this experience and expertise, how you share that and get your message out there, and especially because a lot of people aren't used to doing lives like this and, you know, talking to everybody about what they do and how good they are at it. So they can find themselves in this place of self-doubt. They question every decision they make because they're not growing their business, they're not putting themselves out there, and they just get into this merry-go-round of negative thoughts, seeing other people less qualified, you know, doing more things than they're doing, putting themselves out there, sharing all of this expertise that they have. And another side of that comes down to this sort of the fact that the industry itself is unregulated, especially within the coaching industry. So you can just set up as a coach if you want. And I've seen many other coaches sort of saying, oh, well, you don't need to get a qualification and you don't need to do this. People don't ask about it. But it's not the point, you know. And I think as people who've spent years getting qualified in what they do to suddenly be in sort of an oversaturated market full of people who were a personal trainer one day and a mindset coach the next day, they're suddenly feeling a little bit out of place and not knowing how to get their expertise and experience out there. So it's probably one of the biggest things that I found myself. I'd got into a lot of sort of doubting my own abilities, not posting because I was seeing other people posting and they were saying what I wanted to say much better than I could probably say it. And so, you know, you do get stuck in that like inaction. You're not doing anything, so you're not speaking to clients, you're not getting clients. And because a lot of our validation comes from the work that we do with clients, when you're not getting that, you don't have anything to validate your skills and your abilities. So you just kind of get down that rabbit hole of getting a bit lost and stuck in your own mindset and struggles. So it's one of the things that the way that I work with clients is to help them to create that confidence so that they can go out there and speak about the expertise that they have, the experiences that they have. And I'm also working with another coach, a lady called Charlotte Hopkins, and together we are launching it's the Creating a Culture of Excellence quality mark. So that is to start to bring in some regulation within the industry to have that wider impact, because we see it from, you know, it's the effect it has on your confidence, your reputation as a business, and as well it actually helps to build a solid business infrastructure as well. So it's looking at all aspects of you and your business together.
Yeah, no, there's so many points there to pick up on, to be honest. Just one that you mentioned there was that Instagram life where everyone seems to want to live that perfect Instagram life. And in reality, like the view you've got, the view I've got right now is what we want people to see on the camera. Exactly. What they don't see is all the stuff to the side.
Yeah, all the piles of paper on the desk.
All that stuff, but that's reality, isn't it? Yeah, and sometimes you just need that confidence as a business owner, as an individual, to say, you know what, life sucks at times. Life actually isn't that Instagram life that we all perceive, we all want, we all aspire to. Actually, it's about helping people to achieve a little bit more and helping them to punch above their weight, to actually help them to develop and everything. So I think everything that you're doing there from a coach point of view is absolutely phenomenal. So thank you for that. I guess one of the other questions I would ask is, if you could go back to the beginning of your business, what would be the one bit of advice that you would give yourself, and what would you do differently?
I would have done it sooner. That would have been the biggest thing. I wouldn't have waited. It took, as I said, 10 years to have a business before I went, enough's enough. And that only really came to a head from a personal perspective when I was hitting burnout. I had a full-time job, I was running the business, and the job, I'd got to a point where I hated it. I felt depressed and anxious all of the time. And it was when it kind of nearly cost me my mental health and my relationship that it was like, do you know what, enough's enough. I'd already started getting clients abroad and taking it online and realizing that I could actually make the same income. So if I'd known that sooner, I would have definitely pushed to do it. But I think it's a process that you go through. Everybody's different. You know, people will just jump into it. I'm not one of those people. I've got to know that I've got all of the ducks in a row before I can make that step. And I would definitely tell myself not to be such a perfectionist, that, you know, it's okay to take that imperfect action and just do something. And you will learn from it. It's not like life destroying kind of thing. It is something that you will be able to learn from. You can review things, you can see what worked, what didn't work, and do things differently moving forward. But if you're not doing those things, you're not getting any learning from it. And for me, that was the one thing. I just wasn't doing it. So I'd absolutely step into that role a lot sooner.
Oh, that's a brilliant bit of advice. Absolutely brilliant bit of advice. And I think that comes back to the confidence, doesn't it, at times, where you kind of look at it and you think, you know what, I really want to do this. I really want to do this. I really want to do it. But I haven't got the confidence to do it. Because I see that Instagram life, I see everybody else saying, oh, world's brilliant. But actually, you haven't got that confidence because you've got that security of the full-time job, which is paying you the money. And I think things like COVID comes along and that gives people a degree of uncertainty, and they suddenly think, actually, you know what, let's take that leap of faith, let's jump, let's set this business up. And I think that's brilliant as well. I think the other bit that you touched on there was a phrase that I've heard many a time, was done beats perfect. So actually getting something done, it's a heck of a lot better.
Absolutely, But we think it has to be perfect. If you're like me, you absolutely think everything has to be just right before you can do anything. And it isn't the case. And if everything was perfect, you know, we wouldn't learn anything from it. And it is that learning that is the bit that grows the confidence. It's that, you know, those little steps that you take that keep pushing you out of your comfort zone, that make you stronger within your business.
Definitely. So I guess kind of link with that as well. The next question I would like to ask, if it's all right, is tell us what your proudest moment is as a business owner.
For me, it was going out to Spain to work in person with my client in February before COVID hit. I wondered when I flew out there why people were wearing masks, and kind of had no concept of what was going on or what was to come in the world. So I'd only been in business, like all in the business, since December 31st. And I went out I think it was around about the 18th of February. And it was just incredible. That was everything that I wanted my business to be, was that opportunity for me to travel to go and work with clients, even though it's an online business. Obviously I have clients around the world. So it was that fact that I didn't have that restriction. I don't have children, so I wasn't stuck in. I could, you know, pick up and leave whenever I wanted to. And I could work from anywhere in the world. So I could still go to Spain and work with her, but be working with other clients at the same time. And that was absolutely what I wanted for the business, and still do, obviously, when we can travel a little bit more, is to be able to do that.
That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. I sometimes think that at times we forget to ask ourselves, what do we do well? What do we enjoy? What is it that actually we are proud of as business owners, as part of a bigger team, or as part of a society, I guess, ultimately as well? What is it that we do well? And what actually have we done today that makes us proud of ourselves? So hearing your story and your journey and knowing you for all of these years is really, really inspirational, to be honest, to know where you came from. One of the bits that you didn't mention before was you and I had a little bit of a side bet where I wrote in my diary, because you said, this is the day that I'm going to take that leap. And I put it in my diary. I remember doing that years ago. I think it was at one of the Punch Above Your Weight events from memory, something like that. It is just that confidence part, and just
and it still took years after that to actually go. Like I said before, it's all part of the process. It was all working towards that point, and it was knowing that certain things for me had to be in place. Like, you know, there's lots of things that happen in our lives that impact on the decisions that we make. So for me, it was being at that point where I could say, now is the right time to do it.
So that links in perfectly with my final question, I guess, is what would be the one bit of advice that you would give to somebody that was starting up in business, so a new business owner? all these people that have been made redundant, sadly, all these people that have suddenly said, "Stuff this, I'm sick of working the way I've always done." They're starting businesses. There was an astronomical, I think it's 50,000 businesses were formed last month, something like that. What would be the one bit of advice that you would give to them?
Just do it. And just go ahead and do it, but ask for help when you get stuck. I think that's one of the biggest things. We try to figure everything out on our own. There is so much support and help out there. For every different possible business. Once you get in, like, honestly, I've been in communities with service-based business, product-based business. There is a business for everything, and it is that thing of we struggle along so often trying to do everything ourselves. Sometimes it's fear of actually letting people know that we're struggling. Sometimes we think if we tell people, what we're struggling with, we're failing, and it's not that. You need that support, but the kind of caveat to that is take all of the information and then find out what fits for you. Because, as I said before, it can be really overwhelming. You've got one person telling you need to do it this way, and one person telling you that they did it this way. And it's remembering that everybody does it their own way. And especially in the coaching industry, you see coaches going, I've got the secret formula. I don't think anybody's really got a secret formula for anything, because I do believe the secret is within yourself. So it's taken all of that information and it's being able to see what fits really, really well for you. What aligns with your values and what you want out of your business. So probably more than one piece of advice there. So do it, ask for help, but do it your way.
Yeah, that is absolutely perfect advice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So what's the best way of people getting in touch with you, Donna?
Facebook is probably one of the biggest. So I'm at Donna Liddle Coaching on Facebook. It's the same on Instagram, same name. I do have a Facebook group called the Competency Collective, and that is for coaches, counselors and therapists to help them learn, grow and thrive. And we do like a lot of reflective practice. So it's linked with the quality mark and the stuff that we're doing with that. And it is about creating that safe community that, you can go and ask for help. You can work on yourself, building your confidence, building your business. So yeah, that group's there as well. The Competency Collective is on Facebook.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really do appreciate it. Apologies if I'm looking down. I just want to make sure we use a tool called Restream just to actually record this and put it live, and everything. Doesn't always bring any questions through into the channel here bit, so I'm just looking at my phone to make sure there was any questions or any comments there. There's some comments coming through that I really appreciate the time, so thank you very much. I'd like to echo that. Really do appreciate it. Very inspirational, as I said, to know where you've come from and where you are now, and all those businesses, all those individuals, more importantly, that you are helping. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Pam.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. As always, we're always keen to have people join us as well. So if you would like to share your story, please do reach out to us. We will be putting a post on the page in the coming days as well. So if you would like to share your story, your journey, please do let us know, and please do get in touch. Thank you very much, and we shall catch you up later on. Thank you. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.